unmute it, and we should be able to see the recording. Yes, you can see the recording up there starting to show the sound coming through. And if there's anybody at home, no, there's no one at home yet, but in the future, people that are listening to this recording on the internet through YouTube, you can pause this video, you can make the sound lower, and you can make the screen full screen. If you don't know how to do it, ask your family member how to do the YouTube video, to play it, stop it, pause it, make it bigger, etc. But it'll be on YouTube, this video, within about 48 hours. You can write it down on the PowerPoint presentation sheet. I'm going to give you an address where you can see this video. It's ICIWorld.tv. ICIWorld.tv. You'll be able to see this video a little bit later. So we're actually recording through a conference caller, such as you see here. And did I have the, on my screen, are we recording with the camera on? I think we are, yeah. So we actually have the camera on as well. And if people want to see what the view, oops, I turned the camera off. Let me turn it back on. Where's the camera recording here? Oh, webcam, there it is, webcams. I'm just going to show all webcams. That's what we're recording in the room right now. Okay, so you'll be able to see that later. And maybe I'll stop it to make the screen bigger for the people at home, because they might not be seeing such a big screen. So I'm going to turn the camera off now. Okay, and let's go back to here. So these are tools of the internet that every one of us can use, and they can be used to help us make money in the real estate business. Okay, page up, page down. Let's see if we can click on that. Oopsie daisy. All right, let's stop that one, and let's get started with our actual presentation. Is Sabir here?
Yeah. Again?
Okay, Sabir, I'm going to officially start now. If you wanted to say anything.
No, we're ready.
I can tell you that my sister's out of the hospital, she's at home, and she's doing really good.
Awesome. By the way, the reason why, his sister Carol had a picture. Yeah, I'm sorry. Carol is somebody else that I met yesterday. But she was diagnosed with some and was going through a surgery, so that's why they just got yeah, go ahead. Start.
And so I'm very thankful of my sister that she's doing well. You know, when you have cancer, you always figure that the earlier you can catch things, the better it is. And so she had a little spot on her lung. It was getting bigger, so she had it out. She went in the day before yesterday. They took out a little 15% of her lung, and they checked her out today. Boom. Mind you, it's nicer to be at home recuperating than at the hospital. Yes. But it's amazing what they can do with the medical profession nowadays. So I am thankful, and I want to thank you for every Sabir inspired my sister. He said, no problem, you're going to get through it. Have the courage, you're going to make it. He was an inspiration, and my sister really appreciated his words yesterday, the day before she went in. Thank you so much, Sabir, for that. There's a little bit of information on myself so you know who I am. I've been a broker for over 45 years. The only reason I like to bring that up to you is to let you know that I have the experience of working with 1,000 brokers. And even though I've been a broker for over 45 years, I want you to consider me as a personal marketing and information assistant to you personally. I'm an assistant to every single person in this real estate business. And I'm specializing in doing that. We have 500 members. We are called the ICIWorld Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople. We only allow real estate brokers and salespeople like yourselves to join the service. And it's wonderful. I'm growing old with everyone in the business. I wish I could live another 100 years, you know, because it's just exciting in this business today. It's one of the most remunerative and rewarding, and we have our ups and downs, and it's exciting. And it's like real estate flowing on our veins all the time, and it's very exciting. The reason I show you this too is a few other reasons. You'll see up at the top that realtor insignia. You are all realtors in the room. That realtor term comes from the National Association of Real Estate in the United States. They're located on North Michigan Way in Chicago. And as Realtors, they license it to the Canadian Real Estate Association. That's how you are a Realtor. Now, you'll see the CCIM. The CCIM Institute is a division of the National Association of Realtors. And in this room, how many people here do residential? How many people in this room want to do commercial? Almost everyone in the room. Okay, I'm letting you know that the best courses that you could possibly ever take are the CCIM. So on your PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to give you 2 websites that you can go to. By the way, that particular slide is in a different order. I don't do the seminar in the same order all the time. It's just too boring for me. I like to go to certain things right away and concentrate on them. That's why some of our videos online are different. But that slide is on page, what page is that slide on? Hold on. That slide that's on the page.
Three corner right corner.
What page?
Third right corner.
It's on page 3?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, at the top right corner on page 3, you should write down some website addresses. The first one is ccim.com. You should, anybody interested in commercial real estate, if you want to take it all the way and become a CCIM. I'm the past president of the CCIM chapter. We meet at the Toronto Real Estate Board on a regular basis. I'm also a past World Conference chairman for the International Commercial Real Estate Conference for CCIM Institute. Some time ago, I've been membership chairman. And it's this, what we're doing today started out of the CCIM chapter, where brokers like this would say, listen, I have a buyer who's looking for an apartment building for $2 million. And somebody says, aha, I know where there's one for $2.4 million. Maybe they'll be interested. None of this is on Toronto Dosing Plan. And so the 2 of them would get together and they would go in a room and say, okay, you put an agreement in place first, because you should never show property without having an agreement in place. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay? And then they make their own arrangements for compensation, go show the property, and they make $50,000 from a piece of information. That's what I'm excited about, to get you excited about information. Every one of you have it. And I'm going to be bringing out of each and every one of you today. I'm going to bring some of this information out. You can make a whole pile of money. It can increase the revenue for the office, and you'll see how it's done as we go along. So how did we learn this? Well, I started in the CCIM program many, many years ago. I was in residential real estate selling an average of 1 house a week. Not 1 house a week, 1 end a week. So if you sell a house and you got 1 end. And then was switched over into commercial real estate and got into the CCIM program. I invite you all to come out to the local networking meetings, which you can find out about by going to ccimcanada.com. So you can write that down, www.ccimcanada.com. And you can go to the meetings, and they have networking meetings where you get together and talk to people like this. And then you learn about the education that's going on from time to time, and you take advantage of the education. To some, it may be a little bit expensive to get through all the courses. I don't know if it costs about 10 grand altogether. But when you come out of the course, the very first one, CI 101, you should mark that down. CI 101, I recommend every single residential agent in the world should take CI 101, because it will teach you the before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate. The money coming into a project and the money coming out of the project, and what happens during the term of the hold. And you're going to learn that before tax and after tax. And someday customers are going to say, aha, I'm thinking of buying this property. I better call you to help give me some advice on that one. And that way you start to help people invest in real estate. The advantage for commercial real estate starts right here, because you can have one client who is buying 2 properties a year for the next 5 years. That's 10 properties with one client. Now, when you sell a home, how often will they put that home and come back for sale? Roughly how often? Once every 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 3 years, whatever. One client, and it's still good to do that. You're not restricted. But if you want to add to your practice in real estate, have a career practice in real estate, add this as another service, investing in real estate. But it'd be good if you can understand how you make money in real estate. The reason is, you go show a property, and I'm going to ask everyone in the room a question. When you show a property, and you finish showing it, and people say, I want to think about it, have you ever heard them say that before? I want to think about it. Always. Almost always. You showed me a home, I like it, it's okay with you, I'd like to think about it. And they want to know it. Now, when you take the CCIM courses for commercial, you're going to learn how to put that investment on a presentation that say, okay, well, take this with you. So they take this presentation with you, and you're going to have how they make money in real estate. It's going to take a picture of how they make money in real estate. So instead of them worried about, oh, this, that, or the other thing, and somebody says, oh, the taxes are too high, and then they say, okay, well, forget about it. You've got the taxes here. And you're still going to make money because of everything you have in your presentation. By creating that picture for them, they can give it to their accountant, their lawyer, their family members, their colleagues, whoever is giving them advice. And they're going to say, oh, well, I don't agree with that this expense is going to go up. I think that expense is going to go up. So you, who are in charge of the deal, can go run another scenario on the computer, which is valuable now. You change a couple of figures, and maybe instead of offering $980,000, you only offer $910,000. And you allow for those increases. And you still have a deal. You're in control of the deal, and that's what the CCIM can help you with. The next, up there you'll see CIPS. Every one of you, I'm going to suggest get your CIPS designation. It stands for Certified International Property Specialist. It's put on by the National Association of Realtors. Sometimes the Real Estate Institute locally puts it on, and there's different courses coming up from time to time through TRED or REIC, sometimes the REIA. It stands for Certified International Property Specialist. And if you're going to be doing referrals around the world, sending out referrals and receiving referrals, I know I had one that I had to do in Hungary. A family from Hungary still had a property in Hungary. Well, who are you going to call in Hungary? I looked up CIPS and I found a broker in Hungary. So you can feel confident that somebody is a member of the National Association of Realtors and they have a CIPS designation, and you can have some comfort that the people you refer is going to get looked after. This also, of course, works for Century 21, which is worldwide, and you do referrals through that. So it's another tool. All of these are tools, what I call for your information toolbox in the business. Now, the LinkedIn, how many people here have LinkedIn? Okay, I think it's important because the population of Canada would be going down if it wasn't for immigration. Yeah. So some people come to Canada and they meet you and they don't know you. How do they know if you're good or bad or anything? Well, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can mark this down too. I'm suggesting that you put all the associations that you belong to, you put them on your LinkedIn profile. You let them know you belong to the Canadian Real Estate Association. It has a code of ethics, a code of conduct. And if you do something wrong, you get your hand slapped, and it's serious, you lose your license. So that is an element of faith when people come to deal. If they know you're a licensed, credible realtor, member of the Canadian Association Real Estate, member of the Ontario Real Estate Association, member of the Toronto Real Estate Board, and any other organizations and things you belong to, put it on your LinkedIn profile, put it on your Facebook. And some of these other tools that you see there, they're the same thing. The National Association of Real Estate, I actually went to Washington 3 months ago. And I'm doing a lot of this stuff on your behalf. Don't forget, I'm the manager of a society of real estate brokers and salespeople, and I'm looking to better this service for all brokers in the world. I had 3 meetings. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was there. Oh, no, I'm going to leave that in. Okay. I'll do it this way. No, we're okay. I think she's comfortable there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. At the National Association building, I had 3 meetings because I'm looking for this service to be taken over by a real estate board, a real estate association. And I'm finding that there's a little bit of politics involved. There's little things involved that you have to kind of make your way so to talk to different people. But I had 3 meetings. I didn't get a no, and I didn't get a yes. So I'm still talking to them. But it would be nice if this service was supplied to all realtors in the world. And that's what I'm trying to do somehow down the road. In the meantime, it's an independent service. Oh, okay, thank you very much. Mayor Hazelton, one time, was sitting in Mississauga and there was a conference. And there was a table. Everybody was sitting around and something dropped on the floor. And the first person to pick it up was Mayor Hazelton. It just reminded me of that. She was so good. She went right down, she got it right away. And everybody else was getting ready to go down to pick it up. And they were all men at the table. That's amazing. Okay, anyway, let's carry on. And so that's just a little bit of information on that. Any questions so far before we carry on? Okay. Now, you'll see on the screen, and we're going to cover something I think is very important. And I hopefully, Doris, I'm sorry? Let me make sure that the sound is connected and that the recording is on. I've done that before where I forgot. The recording is going and the sound is on. You can see the little bar going. Thank you so much, Doris. Oh boy, I really appreciate that. Okay, an app. How many people do not want to put an app on their phone unless you're really going to use it? And the reason is, if you have too many apps on the phone, what happens to your phone? It slows down, right? So sometimes I'm suggesting, by the way, how many people in this room have a website? First of all, you all have the page on Century 21, is that correct? Yes. Everyone has that. How many people have a separate full-fledged website? Okay. How many people do not have a full-fledged website? Okay. Now, the people with both the page on Century 21 and the full-fledged website, they are all mobile. Is that correct? So in other words, they're called a mobile website. That's different from an app. Okay? And the mobile website uses up 0 resources. 0. So in other words, I'm going to use the example of CNN. If I go to CNN and I have a choice to install the app or to use the shortcut, which one am I going to use? The shortcut. It uses 0 resources. 0. When you have a real estate shortcut, which is what you have, and you say, listen, let me back it up just a bit by asking you all a question. Would it be nice, and let me back up that question and then come to that question. If you go to the next wedding you go to, how many people might be at a wedding that you've been to or gone to? Just throw out a number. A wedding. If you go to a wedding, how many people attended the wedding?
200.
400, 200, 500?
Yeah, maybe 500.
Okay, anywhere from 100 to 700?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be nice if every single person at that wedding had your real estate website on their phone? How many people like that idea? This is a marketing plan from ICIWorld, okay? we're suggesting that every one of you get your customers. So when you go for lunch or you're talking to them and you're having supper or they visit you and whatever, just say, by the way, why don't you put my real estate website on your phone? And if you're ever searching real estate, because you can search MLS on my phone, and we're going to show you how they can search exclusives on your phone after today. You can have an exclusive link. Do you see Sparky? Can everybody see Sparky over there? Yeah. Sparky's a dark plug of these listings right there that you can have on your website with one big difference. No one can click on the message numbers. So if all these listings that are on ICIWorld, if somebody goes to your website and they see an apartment building, a hotel, motel, gas station, restaurant, power sale, assignment, properties coming for sale, those kinds of things, if they see it on your website and they cannot click on the number, who do they have to call?
They call you.
Give me a high five. Isn't that fantastic? And a high five for everyone here. This is another thing that we're bringing here today, that you have a chance. If you have 1 hour, we send you the instructions. You forward it to your website designer. Where to Live. Can you tell me anything about them, Where to Live? Where to Live are the people that supply your page.
That's a company that's on Facebook at 21, North America. So that's the company that takes care of all of our online properties. And that's the back end system, CRA system, and also our website. All of the time.
Now, can the salesperson call them for technical support?
Yes, we can do both pretty extensive long.
Okay, and the links, can people put their own, well, I've seen it. The links from ICIWorld can be put on your page. So people can click on commercial, they can click on residential, and they can click on physical, which I haven't even told you about yet. And if they do, they're going to see a list of properties. And the big difference from MLS is they can't click on the message numbers. If they can't click on the message number, they have no choice but to call you. It's wonderful. It's exciting because it's like having classified ads of a newspaper on your website. But if anyone is interested in any one of those classified ads, they have to call you. Now, new people, I don't know how you get started with them. You can be shot right up like that because you'll have listings on your website that people have to call you right away. For the older people in the business that are retiring, for the older people in the business that maybe don't want to show properties, for part-time people that are working at another job, trying to make some money to come into real estate more, you can do referrals. If somebody goes to your website and they say a $1 million apartment building and you don't have the time to service it, you can do one thing better than listing and selling real estate. What is it? Out loud. Referrals. Yeah. Why is it better? Well, if somebody calls you up and they call me and they say, I'm interested in message number 698456 because they can't click on it. It's not like MLS where they can see the address and end up driving by themselves. They don't see the name of the other broker. In the case of the widgets from ICIWorld, from Sparky, they have to call you for more information. So they call you up and say, can you help me? And you're going to say, yes, I can help you. I will have someone call you back. That's it. And then you are going to look up the broker who's got that listing. And you're going to say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? Isn't that wonderful? You've got your referral agreements in the office here. You should keep them right on you. Referring broker, receiving broker, details of the property, the date, etc. You do a referral just like you would do normally a referral. The only reason that you're not doing referrals right now or not doing more is because you don't get the leads. So I say marketing is a lot like fishing. If you don't put a line in the water, you have no chance to put the food on the table. If you have the listings on your website, the next person that sees one of those listings, they have to call you. And then you can either do a referral or you can make arrangements to go show the property yourself. Those are some of the powerful features that you're showing today. Does anybody want to know how much it costs to get that? Can you pull out the application form? Anybody pull out the application form right now? And how much does it say normally? Anybody not have a copy? Anybody not have a copy? Everybody's got a copy? Down at the bottom, how much is it regularly to join? $319 per year or $40 per month is what the membership in the ICIWorld Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople. And the renewals are also $319. However, today there happens to be a little special. I do them at the seminars. And you'll see the special there. What does it say? 240 is correct, and with the HST, which makes it 271.20, but you get the $31.20 back. The 240 is Canadian dollars, and it's tax deductible. Depending on your tax bracket, it might only be $160, really, when you think about it. By the way, is there anybody thinking of joining right now? Just thinking of it. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the first person that joins will get a 3-month bonus. Okay, already, so I already got 1. So you would get 15 months service. Did you put up, somebody else put up their hand? You would get 16 months service. But also, you're gonna get 16 months too. 17 months. Or 8, by the way, I can see there's enough people here already. The limit is 18. Okay, so anyone theoretically that wants to join today, you can join and get 18 months service today, and I'll be staying here sometimes for an hour or 2 to get everybody going properly. But that's how much it would cost. If you divide
So how do I get them?
to 18 months.
Okay.
18 months. Okay. Now, can you divide, just for the sake of argument, 240, can you divide it by 18, somebody? What's that work out to? About $14 a month for worldwide advertising. I think we've accomplished bringing it down to the cheapest possible way possible. Now, there's a problem, and I'm going to tell you what one of the problems is, and then I have a solution. There's a solution for everything here, by the way. We cannot have 1,000 brokers calling me in one day. It's impossible. So we ask you all not to phone me. I know it sounds crazy. Instead, you go to the main website, and there's a button at the top that says make an appointment. Instead of calling us and playing telephone tag, instead of me to have 5 people in the office answering the phone, $200,000 a year to answer the phone, which you would have to pay for, instead, just make an appointment. You can even do it from the app. Click on the app, please, everyone. Just open the app. And by the way, these tools you can use in your own business someday. If you like some of these tools, you talk to me about them and you can use them. But when you click on the app, click on the word more, and the third button down says log in. So anyone that's thinking of joining right now, do that. Click on login, and at the very top of the page, what's the first item? What does it say?
Make an appointment.
Make an appointment. Isn't that wonderful? So I'm like a doctor's office. Every day we start at 6 a.m. how many early birds are there, 6 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, I just want to share that every time I book an appointment, it's till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Give me a high five.
Yes.
I love it.
And it's been amazing that until today, I did not have that kind of a training. It's like slow and steady, every single word, very clearly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's one-on-one. 10 minutes before your time, you're going to go to ICIWorld.com and you're going to click on webinar workshops at the top in the middle, and we're going to be connected over the internet. I'm going to give you all a special number. You should mark this down on one of your files there. By the way, does everyone have, anyone who's joining today gets one of these orientation files? And you should make sure you get one of these when you come up. But you mark down my personal phone number, 416-214-4875. I also have a card. It's on my cards here. Anybody need a card?
Yes.
Okay, did everybody get a card? Okay, maybe you can just pass them out. Okay,
It's here on the page too.
it's on the page too. Okay, there's a card. If you want a card, I've got a card here. Okay, I think he's gonna pass them around. It should be somewhere. It's not on the PowerPoint. Maybe I should put it.
Contact number.
Anybody need one? Now, I mentioned before, you say, why are you giving me the phone number when I asked you not to call me? Emergency, you're gonna call, okay? If you got, I had one gentleman, he operates a radio station in Oakville. Does anybody know that radio station in Oakville? I'm going to see him later on today. Anyways, he's a real estate broker, and this way, if you have any trouble getting into the workshop exactly at your time, because that time belongs to you. It's just like coming into a doctor's office, that's your time. And no matter what else happens, I stay with you. Okay, that 1 hour belongs to you. And guess what, people? For people that are wondering, how can you do it? You only need 1 or 2 training sessions, that's it, and you're good to go. You're gonna learn how to put in the listings, how to put in a have or want. You're gonna learn the minimum. Everyone should have 15 opportunities to make money. In this room, how many people here have more than 5 listings on a real estate board? 4, 3, 2, 1. Other ones won't have any. If you do not have a listing, or you only have 1 or 2, are you, and you can agree or disagree, are you basically out of business or almost out of business? Yes or no? Okay, and what we're trying to do is to get listings. We can work with buyers all the time, but I'm talking about the listing side of it. Well, today I'm going to show how every single one of you can have 15 opportunities working on the internet where there's 3.7 billion people, and I'm going to show you how to do that today in compliance with RICO. You don't do anything unless you're in compliance with RICO. I've been a broker, I've served on MLS committees, so we want to make sure everything's 100%, and we've been doing this now for 15 years. We started as commercial, but 5 years ago we started adding residential, and it's working out beautifully for residential too, because there's a lot of exclusive opportunities in residential real estate. Assignments, power sales, coming for sale. A builder wants to build a home, he's got a lot and he wants to build a home. That's an opportunity that nobody knows about. You can put that on the internet. There's a special way to work with the builder. I'm going to show you 3 special questions. And when I bring the 3 special questions up here, fortunately, it's in the PowerPoint. You'll be able to have it there too, but you can also take a picture on the screen once I bring it up. And that's coming up just in a little later here. Any questions so far? So you're talking to a customer, one of your family members, to put your real estate, it's going to look like an app. If I look at my phone right now, that one is an app, that one is a shortcut. They both look the same, but people don't know the difference. The app draws power, tiny bit, but you got a lot of them, it draws a lot. But if you have a shortcut, it's zero resources. So I think it's important for every single one of you to learn the difference and how to put the shortcut on your phone. So when you go to a website like this, there's, in the case of an Android, there's 3 little dots you click on, and then you can add it to your home screen. In the case of an iPhone, there's a little share button at the bottom of the screen. You click on it and add it to your phone. 2 simple little things. You all know how to make a right-hand signal. You lift up the signal to turn right. These are just little things you learn on the phone. But if nobody ever shared them with you, nobody taught you, or even how to use it, why am I even doing that? You wouldn't know how to do it. I'm suggesting you tell your customers. Customer might say, I don't want to put real estate. I don't have to buy any real estate right now. And I don't want to put it on my phone because my phone goes dead by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want to do it. You tell them it's a shortcut. It uses 0 resources. So now they put it on their phone. And then someday, when they're with a friend of theirs who's looking for a house, they can click on your website. Let's see if I got one. Yeah, I got one right on the front here. They click on your website and your website comes up. And then depending on the website that you have, they click on it and they can search residential. And there's some websites now, Samir, that it works like Realtor.ca. In other words, is there anyone in this room that does not have Realtor.ca on the phone? You do not have it. Everyone has it? Good show. Because you can be driving around on a Sunday and you can click on homes near me and presto, up comes the home right across the street. Isn't that marvelous? Guess what? You all can now have a website that does exactly that. That website is $34.95 a month to get that website. We will share that with you in the little workshops that we do with you from time to time. We also make websites that are free for 1 month and that are after 1 month, they're either $19 per month, no contract, or $199 per year. If you divide that by 12, it works out to $16.50 a month. Question for everyone. When the perfume Chanel, when that company comes to Toronto and they're doing marketing in Toronto, is it better for them to have 1 billboard or 5 billboards? 5. If you're in real estate, is it better for you to have 1 website or 5 websites? Theoretically, you can all have more than 1 website. One can specialize in one thing, one could specialize in another one. Keywords and media types for this one, same for that one. You can learn about these things as you go along. Now, if you're not getting any calls from your website, and you're not doing any business from the website, it's almost like, why should I have a website in the first place, right? So in other words, if you're generating business, different story. Agree or disagree? Well, we have a special video. I'm going to show you where to get it now. It's called How to Promote Your Website. I get a question asked in these seminars, Gary, how do I promote my website? Well, you have 5 hours. Because really, it's a full day program to learn how to promote a website. It can start with something as simple as your business card. But I'm going to show you where you can get the full answer in a video, and you can mark this down on your PowerPoint presentation. If you go to, there they are. If you go to ICIWorld.com, to our main website, you'll see something here called seminars. Can you see that up there at the back? Seminar? You click on seminar, and if you go down just a tiny bit, you'll see that there's 4 recorded webinars, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There they are right there. You can click on play. That one will also teach you how to work exclusive information. The third one, how to work exclusive. But who can tell me what that says right there? Out loud, somebody.
How to promote your real estate website.
Out loud, can you tell everyone? Share it with us. Is that hard to read?
No, it's how to promote your real estate website.
How to promote your real estate website. It's a full presentation. I have attended World Search Engine Conventions. Why did I go to the International Hotel in Las Vegas and spend $4,000 to go down there, believe it or not, on your behalf? Why? Well, if you want to learn how to promote your website, you could attend that search engine convention. It cost you about $4,000 altogether. And you would have to go. You would have to go. Every one of you would have to go. So instead of each and every one of you going, guess who went on your behalf? Me. That's right. I went there. And I was going all week long. We were going right from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. And Microsoft was there, and Google was there, and Yahoo was there. All these major companies were all there. By the way, there was one man that did a demonstration. I'll never forget it. He took out a tuba. He had an austerizer. They had no sales, zero, like just a few sales, ordering an austerizer. And he pulled out the austerizer and put it on the table. And he took out a 2x4. And he lifted it up. And he put it down in the austerizer. He put glasses on, he had mitts on, and he was holding it steady. And he turned on the austerizer, and it actually ate up the 2x4. They put that on the internet, and boom, the sales skyrocketed right away. Austerizers, or whatever that thing is called. So in other words, you learn a lot by going to these different seminars. And they would bring up websites on the screen, and they would study the meta tags and the keywords and everything that you have to do to make your website to come up. A lot of that information has been put into that video, number 4, how to promote your website. By the way, if you listen to it, for the people that do, because there probably will be some people that don't, you all will receive $100. Just listen to it, and you're going to find out. In the video, it's going to show each and every one of you how to get $100 of free pay-per-click advertising. It's in the video. Towards the end, you'll hear it. I'll give you an example. You want your website to come up? You want your website to come up. Let's pretend they're almost exactly equal. In other words, they're equal. And Google has to make a decision called algorithms. They don't share those algorithms with you. They're secret. But there was 1,000 people at this search engine convention. There was only 2 real estate guys there. One from California and myself from Toronto. That was it. But I wanted to learn what they're learning so that I could share it with you. It's in this video. And if you register your domain name for 1 year, and you register your domain name for 10 years, Google makes a decision whose website is going to come up top. Which one do you think? The one with 10 years. That's only one thing. They have about a list of things. If you don't have a mobile website, and he has a mobile website, whose website is going to come up first? Bingo. So Google has to make a bunch of decisions because there's millions of people with websites. So these are some of the things that are going on that you will learn in that video. Any questions? So very good. All right, that helps us move along.
Gary, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't we focus more on the real estate instead of the technology part of it? You know,
Yep, we're coming to
We're
that.
not here to,
We're coming to
we're
that.
not IT people, right?
Yep.
Some
And
of
these
the
are
stuff
things
we
that
don't
I
even
actually,
understand.
okay, so what you're saying is we're talking about technology
Yeah,
more than
pretty
real
much,
estate?
yeah.
The technology, you know, there's a saying, realtors can make money, but realtors with technology can really make money. And that's what I'm trying to share with you today is the technology that you can incorporate in your business going forward. If you don't have a website and you're not promoting your website, that's one of the first things I think. Because if you can get one person to go to your website and they see a listing and they want to go see it, you go show it and you make $25,000, just like that. But if you don't have it, you have zero chance, and you wonder why you're not making any money. And this technology is next to nothing, really, when you think about the cost and how much you can make. So I'm here to help you mesh the technology and the internet with the real estate concepts. And when I come to the information side of it, I think you're going to be enthused about it. Let's move on here. These PowerPoint presentations I cover in different order. I don't cover them in the exact order, but towards the end, I will review it all so that really we have covered everything in the PowerPoint by the time we are finished. Let's move along fairly quickly now. Okay, next. Oh, by the way, anybody that's interested in joining today, you go to this website here in the middle called NREILS.com. Excuse me, I gotta walk in front here. Excuse me, I can walk in front. Anybody that wants to join today, you go to this particular website here called NREILS.com, and you make that a shortcut on your phone. You actually go to that website, you click on join today, and make sure you click on Canada, not USA, and you can join for the special that we talked about today. Unless I pointed that out, you would not know that. That's where you go to join and get 18 months for the 240. Before you leave today, you make an appointment with me. Never leave this room without making an appointment, and then I feel good for you to go. When you do join, you will also get one of these cards. It's called a corporate card. Anybody know the corporate card? How many people here have been to Realtor Quest? Okay, Realtor Quest. Every single one of you should go to Realtor Quest. It's fantastic. When I was in Washington at the National Association of Realtors, they had 200 booths. Realtor Quest has 300 booths. It was bigger than the National Association. Nowhere can you see more products and services in one day as you can by going to Realtor Quest. Have a smoothie, a good healthy smoothie in the morning. Put your running shoes on, get a shopping bag, and get ready to go around those 300 booths. Every single booth that is there is designed to help you save time or save money or make money. Every booth. They've all got products and services for each and every one of you, and you can see them all in one day by going to Realtor Quest. How much does Realtor Quest cost for you to go to? Zero. It's put on by the Toronto Real Estate Board. It's free. You get a lunch. It's free, and you can go. It's wonderful. 2 years ago, they had 7,000. Last year, they had 8,000. This year, there were 10,000 that attended. I think all 44,000 people should be attending. You should take the day off. Do whatever you have to. Get into that Realtor Quest. At that show, we have a booth. We have one of the busiest booths at the whole show. It's just busy. There's 2 or 3 people standing around listening to what we have to say. Part of the reason is we make a statement that you can have a $30,000 website, and it's not as powerful as the websites that we're supplying for $16.50. If you look at the third bullet on the application form, the third bullet on the right, what does that say about websites? The third bullet. The third bullet on the right. What does it say? It says
3 for 1 month.
Yeah. Websites are free for 1 month and then $16.50. It's one of the most powerful tools in the internet. And you've got to be making use of it, and we're going to be trying to help. And then if a bunch of you get those, we'll come back in and do some search engine optimization seminars for you too, how to get more. But one of the things you get when you join is this thing here called a corporate card. This gives you literally hundreds of dollars of discounts. Even if you never used our services, you can get more discounts in 1 year than the cost of the membership. One broker, he saved $220 renting a car in San Francisco. Another one saved $200 buying a Lenovo laptop computer. It's savings on hotels and rent-a-cars and parking your car at the airport and things like Canada's Wonderland and the C&E. So do not leave without getting this card. Whoever's joining today, make sure you get this corporate card as well. You got it. He's a member. Didn't get the card yet. Okay? And if you don't get the card today and you join, then we have to put it in the mail and send it to you. But I prefer if we can give it out to you today, just give you the cards right away. That saves time in mailing. So that's the membership. Now, we have one more way that the membership, we always say that the membership becomes free, because once you join, you can refer other people to join. The first one you refer, we reduced your renewal fee from $319 to $240. Additional people, we add 4 months onto your membership for each one. If you refer 4 other people during the next 18 months, you get an extra year free. So that's how that kind of works. Let's move on. Okay, there's the general cost. It's unlimited advertising and networking. It's both. The networking is the exclusive information. You all have MLS listings. You can advertise your MLS listings, but you should also advertise what your buyers are looking for. Last year, the Toronto Real Estate Board, the largest sale at the Toronto Real Estate Board last year was $28 million. We've had 2 deals by independent brokers like yourselves over $50 million. We've actually outsold the Toronto Real Estate Board for highest price sales. Isn't that marvelous? That's because of information, which I'm going to be sharing with you here in a moment. And that's what's exciting, is both networking information that triggers a lead. You put an agreement in place first before you show it, and then you go show it. And we'll show you the step-by-step process to do that. And there's the corporate card. Whoever joins is going to get that. And it's basically free, the service, because of the VIP card, if you use it. If you don't use it, that's a different story. The referral program, you refer people to join. And then when you get people calling you off your website, off the listings, you can do referrals. And then, of course, selling real estate, which I've shown you the testimonials of brokers doing deals. And if people can remember this, when you do your first deal, please let me be the first one to congratulate you. You call me and say, Gary, I got the check in my hand. I had Lena last week. She called me up. She said, I got a $135,000 check in my hand. She was so happy. She sold a little retirement home for $13 million. And she made the connection through. I said, well, she was so happy, couldn't believe it. She just loved it. And she's moving on to other deals now, too. And so that was one. I wish it was me. I could use 135 grand. Holy smokes. Let's move on. Listings, how to add haves and wants. I cover that very quickly. And basically, you just go, there's only 2 things you do in ICIWorld. One of them is that you're going to do a search from time to time, which you already know. You can click on commercial, business, residential, FISBOs, I'll explain later. But you just, to add listings, you simply click on member login, and then on the left-hand side are all the choices. You click on add, have, want, and that's where you put it in. Does anybody in this room have a property that is coming for sale? I'm not going to put it in, but I'm going to show you how it's done. Something coming for sale in the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Anybody? You've got one? Okay, now you know how to do it.
Yes,
And I want to get one of these people to show it. Okay, let's start over there. Just tell me a type of property, approximately where it is, and approximate price. A bungalow? I don't want the address, just the city. No, the city. Scarborough. Okay. So basically, what we would type in is something like this. Coming for sale. Oopsie, Dave, I spelled it wrong. Coming for sale, Scarborough. Now, what we usually do is we will put Toronto in brackets, and the reason we do that is because people are coming here from 138 countries. Maybe they don't know Scarborough, right? So you put in Toronto. And it's a bungalow. And what is the price of it? How much? $739. So say even $740K. You notice I said approximately, because until you get the listing signed, you don't really know. It might be more, it might be less, right? That's it. That's all you have to do. You click on Canada, click on Ontario, click on Greater Toronto. For Scarborough, you're going to choose 2 items here. You're going to choose Scarborough and Toronto. I would do both. Now, it happens to be a residential listing, so we're going to go down here. Oopsie daisy, sorry. I'm going to choose residential, and then we're just going to repeat it. It's a bungalow, and it's in Scarborough, and it's going to be $740,000 approximately. Okay, and then the comments, we're going to say approximate coming for sale. And then what we usually do is we copy the subject line, come down here and paste it in the comments. We also add a little internet link here. This is a link to the Economic Development Office of the City of Toronto, and we add that link in there so that people in Asia, Europe, any place in the world, they can learn more about Toronto. Just to show you how this link can be powerful for everyone, I make a statement that 90% of the brokers on the internet are missing the boat on the internet. And the reason is they are putting properties on the internet with no due regard to the location. Isn't this wonderful? Somebody in Europe can see this link to learn about Toronto, to get excited about moving to Toronto. The three most important words in real estate, location, 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 are being missed from a real estate point of view. This way, you can have a link to the Economic Development Office that helps to sell the location of your properties, whether it's in Markham or Woodbridge or Ajax. All of these places have economic development websites that you can link to. How would you find the link for Ajax? Anybody? How would you find it? How would you find the link for Ajax? Google it. We bring up Google. What would I type in? Ajax. Ajax, Ontario. Bingo. I click on that. There's the town of Ajax, and I click on it, and bingo, what's going to come up is information about Ajax. This should be in all your Ajax listings. Do you agree or disagree? I'll agree. This helps to sell the location of your property. Because people might see, the street or the city, Oshawa, maybe they don't know all of this stuff. But when you have this, they can start to learn. Look how wonderful. People are happy. The rest of the world, out of the world, they're fighting each other. Look at all that. It's beautiful, Canada. They're looking forward to coming there to bring their kids and everything. You're painting a picture. A picture, it's worth more than even 1,000 words by just seeing this kind of stuff. Can you see how this can be powerful in your listings if you use it? Isn't that wonderful? This helps to sell the location of your property. And even if they don't buy that one property, they might still call you and you sell them something else. Okay, let's move on. How many people like that idea? Sometimes one idea in this business can be the difference of doing a deal and not doing a deal. There's a number of different things we're covering today. How do I know all these things? Well, I have the experience of being an assistant to 1,000 brokers and salespeople, and I would enjoy being your assistant. I really enjoy being an assistant to everybody. I really enjoy it. And I enjoyed being with you when we were talking together, because you're happy all the time, it seems. Okay, now, when you go down to the bottom of the page, people, this is the difference between an MLS service and an information listing service. I call ICIWorld an information listing service because look at the choices you have. And I know some of you at the back can't see it, so I'm going to go through some of them. One of them is called regular client. In this particular case, that property in Ajax that's coming for sale, or Scarborough, sorry, Scarborough, the one that's coming for sale in Scarborough, is that a regular client of yours, somebody that you know pretty good? So I would choose, in your case, down here, it says regular client. But there's other choices. There's exclusive, know about, maybe it's a referral from another broker or referral from somebody. You are no longer, as of today, restricted to making money with just MLS. I'll repeat that because it's a big deal. This is a big opening to the whole real estate business for you. And it's in this seminar now, thanks to Severe having us come in. You are no longer restricted to making money with just MLS, okay? The ones that take the time to learn how to do it, I will help you. For your assistance, how do you get assistance from me? How? Make an appointment. You just make an appointment, okay? I don't want to play telephone tag. If I had the phone that used to ring off the hook a few years ago, ringing off the, couldn't handle it all, couldn't handle it. By appointment, it is quiet and peaceful. I get on the phone, we do one-on-one, enjoy, show you all the stuff, away you go. If you need another appointment, you make another appointment, no problem. So then you choose regular client, and here's another big deal. This is the difference between some people who make money and not make money. That question says, will you allow your listings to be on other brokers' websites? If you answer yes, your information will be on 2,000 other brokers' websites instantly. That's tremendous marketing exposure because all the other brokers in the industry are promoting their websites, right? And that means they're getting traffic. And if they see your listing, that other broker is going to call you up and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? Isn't that wonderful? So in other words, the real estate people are now taking all that exclusive information back. All those FISBOs that are out there, there's a way to get that all working for you in the industry. When you add the listing, I click on latest world residential on the left. That's what they look like. This is the latest listings coming for sale. In fact, there's somebody that does have a listing coming for sale in Scarborough. Let's bring it up. I'm going to click on this one. This is another gentleman from Century 21 Titans Real Estate. You'll notice control, regular client. He's got a property coming for sale for $395,000. Happens to be a condo, 2-bedroom. Now, the question is, what do you do when somebody calls you? What's the first question that people are going to ask you when they call? Oh, what's the first question people are going to ask you if they see that listing?
Can I see the property?
Can I see? That's one. What else? What were you going to say? Where? When is it coming? Oh, in about a month. What else might they ask you? Property address. Who said that? Yeah. Where is it? I'd like to have the address. If you don't mind, I'd like to drive by with my family. And if I like it, I'll call you back. Do you give them the address? Say no.
No.
Good. According to RICO, you must have the consent of the owner in writing before you give an address. Okay? Now, if you do not have a signed listing, you must not give the address. Instead, you can make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But I should be getting the listing signed by September the 1st. And when I do, I will put your name on a list. And I will call you back. And you can be one of the first people through the first open house. How does that sound? Isn't that wonderful? This gives you an opportunity to trigger leads with information, not just a listing. You see, there's 3.7 billion people on the internet up here. The beauty of the MLS is when you take an assigned MLS listing, they put it on the internet where everybody can see it. You get 5 calls, you get 3 offers, and you go from there. But now you can do it with information. This information is on the internet. We're getting 40,000 people a month from 138 countries. There's more people here today that are joining and that are plugging into the apps. So that's why it's exciting, because people can see this, they can give you a call, you write their name down, and say if you're still looking for a property around September, then you can be one of the first people through the property. Okay, let's move on. One moment, please. Here we go. Okay, you do it by appointment, one-on-one. We do have a special pledge. Everybody should know you never go longer than 90 days without either doing a deal or triggering leads. Otherwise, you give us a call. There's 3.7 billion people out here. Now, there's been some people who have not made money on our service. I'm going to explain that in a moment, why they didn't. There's also our educational YouTube channel. There's our pledge, our 90-day pledge that everybody should be doing business. Let's move on. You're going to find that we have many websites in the world today. All our major websites, when you're a member of ICIWorld, they are all powered by ICIWorld. So whether you go to our World Real Estate Network or our World Real Estate Information Listing Service, our National Real Estate Information Listing Service, they're powered by all the brokers of the world. Okay? And you're a member of them all when you join. Let's move on. By the way, has anybody ever seen this magazine? Usually it's in the front page of Real Estate Offices. We have been at the top front right page for the last 3 years. There's a 300,000 circulation for this one, the Commercial Exchange, the Commercial Investor, and all these major publications. We spend thousands of dollars, believe it or not, for you. Why? Because if one person sees one of these ads and they put the app on their phone and they see your listing, they call you up, you go show the property, and you make $20,000. Just like that. We've had some people have made $50,000 with 2 hours work. It can happen. So this is, I'm showing you all the connections in the marketplace that can happen for you. 3.7 billion users. Now you can get your information out there. By the way, I'm leaving this in here, but I'm going to skip over it. It is in your PowerPoint presentation. If we had a full day seminar, I would go through some of these apps with you. We do not have the time in a 2-hour seminar. If you ever want us to come back and cover some of this stuff, I'd be happy to do it another time. Okay? But I use a lot of these programs that you see here. By the way, if anybody loses their computer today, if you had your computer, it dropped, it broke, got stolen, or got viruses, and you lost your hard drive, is anybody in this room in trouble right now? Anybody? How many people are in trouble if you lost your computer today? Okay, because you got a lot of important stuff on it, right? People use something like Dropbox. Now, all the other people are not too worried. Why? Tell me what you've got. Who said cloud? Put up your hands, cloud people. Anybody that's using the cloud? The cloud is wonderful. It's wonderful. Because with Dropbox, that's like a cloud service. What's the name of your clouds? Just name them out loud. Which one? Pardon me? Oh, okay. Usually there's different iCloud, Google Clouds, all these different cloud services. You should learn about them, because if I save something on my computer right now, it is instantly saved, as long as I'm connected to the internet, instantly saved to Dropbox. So if I drop my computer right now, it crashed and it was done, I had to sweep it out of the way. Who's got a computer that I could use right now, a laptop? Anybody got a laptop handy?
You want to take it?
No. If you had a laptop, I could put your laptop here, I could log into Dropbox, and I could continue the presentation. Isn't that amazing? Everything is, all the information is backed up on Dropbox. So whoever doesn't have that working, get it working, because I'm going to tell you now, your computer is going to crash someday. It's going to go dead, and you will not have a second chance to get it back. Okay? Something will, it's inevitable. All my computers eventually just stop, for one reason or another. Okay, so get that going, and I can't cover this today. There's more apps that you can have on your phone, and otherwise commercial apps, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to cover that, but I did that so that anybody that's listening to this in the future, you can stop the video and you can make a list of the apps. These are a lot of the wonderful people, and Doris, can you say a few words? Doris Periner, she's also a certified trainer with Floyd Wick. How many people have heard of Floyd Wickson? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about Floyd Wickman coaching, and who Floyd knows, some of the buddies he comes around with.
Floyd Wickman, probably the original trainer.
Why don't you come into the front, Doris?
So nobody's heard of Floyd Wickman?
I got on your this thing. Okay, I see it.
Have you heard of Mike Ferry?
Yes.
Mike Ferry. Mike Ferry and Floyd Wickman, way back in the day, they started working together, and they're the icons in the real estate industry training. And they were working together originally, but what happened was they kind of had both different styles. There's Mike Terry Wayne, who's been very active in the Canadian Ontario market. And then Floyd Wickman was in this market like 20 years ago. So if you're older than 20 years or been in the market for a real estate for over 20 years, you would have heard about Floyd Wickman. They have two different styles, two different formulas for selling real estate. The fundamentals, a lot are the same, but the concepts are different. So I was on coaching. I'm a real estate agent, by the way, and I was on coaching with the Mike Perry 14 years, which as an agent, you know, paying the $1,000 a month for the coaching. And yeah, and then when I discovered Floyd Wickman, I found some gaps that it kind of filled, and I liked the Floyd Wickman style, model, formula better. It worked better for me, and I thought, you know, I've been in the business for a long time. I learned a lot about real estate, about training, about what it takes to be successful. ICIWorld is definitely one of the tools I've been using in my career, and I promote and I help Gary as well with the training on this as well. And so I'm bringing the Floyd Wickman program back into Ontario. We've had great success. Actually, in the Century 21, you know Doug Thompson? No? The Floyd Wickman has been very well connected with Century 21, and they're doing a program all over Canada with the Floyd Wickman program. And I think in September there's going to be a webinar online version as well. But I go to the offices, and we do. I do a free special event, 2 hours, to get a general idea what our program offers. And we have a 7-week, and generally it generates one listing, one sale, one transaction per person per week on average. So it's great results. Hopefully, I'm going to talk to your broker. I can do a special event here, and you know, help you guys get more listings and more sales.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you.
Doris has got a big heart. She's got a big heart for this industry, as all of these particular instructors that we had here. So if I wasn't here today, she could actually conduct this session today, and same as these other people that you see here on the screen. There's the information. I've already covered information about myself. I do not sell real estate except on my own account or for my personal family and one friend, and because I'm working full-time as the manager of the society. The exciting thing about being here today is the highest return of any investment on the internet actually is for real estate, because one deal can make you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Even referrals make you $3,000 to $10,000. So one lead makes you a lot of money, and you can do business in your home countries. If you have descended where you descended from, you can be doing deals even in countries, any place around the world. You can be placing it on ICIWorld, maybe working with someone over there to show property, but you could be advertising here and generating the leads. Testimonials, we've shown you basically the whole industry. We've got testimonials from everyone doing deals. There's over 50 pages of them. You can see them online on the app. Click on more, click on testimonials. Here's a very important stat. According to the National Association of Realtors, by the way, is there anybody here that tries to work FSBOs? And we've got 1, 2. Anybody try to go after FSBOs? Does anybody here go to Kijiji? Okay, we've got a couple of people going to Kijiji. Get excited, get excited. Those are essentially our FSBOs. Now, are there people here that don't want to work FSBOs? How many people don't want to work FSBOs at the moment? In other words, you're all open to working FSBOs?
Yes.
Okay, so you could go to Kijiji, or you could see a for sale by owner sign. And what's exciting about it is that the statistic shows that literally, you see where it says 9% of the FSBOs, it's the second one from the bottom, 9% sold without an agent. What does that mean? 91% sold with an agent. So I'm letting you know now that maybe some of you, how many people in some cases have not been successful going after a FSBO? Okay, and only 3 people have tried to go after a FSBO, because in order to be successful, you're gonna have to be a little bit unsuccessful to go after them a little bit in the beginning. We're suggesting that you all go after them now. They're gonna be like cherries on a tree, and I'm gonna show you why in a moment. That's the exciting news. 91%, they all get sold by real estate people, and yet you hear reports that FSBO sold with that company or that company, whatever it is. Get excited about that. quick stats about ICI World. I'm not going to belabor it. Basically, there's 75% of these 30,000 listings that you search on here are not on MLS. We're suggesting that you should be checking it daily, and it's only 3 seconds to do that, 1 second to click on the app, 1 second to click on commercial or residential or business, and then 1 second to search the latest listings in your area. They come up, click on this one here, and bingo, you can do some business. But there's something else special, real special. You all want to do some more business? You come here, and I'm going to click on the one that says business. And you could be in residential real estate. And you click on the one that says business. And it comes up here, and it says wanted, a restaurant. How many people here are going to be in a restaurant in the next week? How many? How about in the next month? Everybody. Everybody's going to be in a restaurant sooner or later, right? You go in, you eat at the restaurant, you take the business card, and when you're paying for the bill, I'm going to pretend that you're the restaurant owner, okay? I'm going to say thank you very much for the meal, by the way. It was very enjoyed eating here, and I'll be coming back again someday. By the way, I thought I'd leave you my business card. I happen to have about 200 restaurants on my website, Buyers and Sellers, and if you're ever interested in buying or selling a restaurant someday, feel free to let me know. Oh, by the way, if I was to get you the price you wanted for your restaurant, would you consider selling? I'm in real estate. Would you consider selling? How many restaurant owners will say yes?
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're going to find one that says yes, every one of you. Stay with me on this. I'm giving you ideas by checking out the app every day, what people are looking for. If somebody wants a daycare center and you're dropping your child off at a daycare, why not ask the owner of the daycare center? If I could get you the price you wanted for your daycare, would you consider selling? People, how much does it cost to ask that question? Zero. I'm showing you ways to do business here, okay? I know people's brains are going a mile a minute thinking about all kinds of other things, but this is something specific that you can do by going right out the door to the next person you talk to. Is anybody going to stay in a motel in the next 1 or 2 years? How many people here? Okay, watch this. Everybody do this. Pull up your phone right now. Go to commercial. The very first item on the page, it says keyword. Can everybody click on keywords, please? Click on keyword. Click on motels. Now, when the business area still comes up, Markham, I want you to remove that, remove Greater Toronto Area to select city or district so that we're searching all of Ontario. Please do that. And when you search, tell me how many buyers and sellers of hotel motels have been placed on here within the last 90 days. I'm going to start counting. Who can tell me the first three? How many?
15.
Nope. I try again.
No, that was just
Change
in
the
Markham.
business
Okay.
area to Ontario. Okay? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And whoever's got an answer, just put up their hand. How many buyers and sellers of motels are there? Okay, we've got one at the back. How many buyers and sellers of hotels and motels are there in Ontario? It's a keyword search on the app. This is a training session. It's okay if you have trouble getting there for the first time. But it's important that you get there for the first time because next time you can be faster. You got it? Okay, we've got 2 that have got it. 3, 4, okay, it might not be the right answer. Okay, 5, 1 more. Anybody else? Got it. Okay, what's your number? Throw out your number. How many buyers and sellers of hotels and motels? No, okay. Just for Ontario. By the way, you got to make it Ontario. How many? Nope. Motels or hotels, either one.
Or just motels.
Got it on your phone? Pull up the app. Open the app, click on commercial. I'm going to do this again. This is important for you to know. If people, you're the leaders in the business. You've got to be helping the public. You've got to help the public do this. You open the app. You click on commercial. Okay? And then the first thing on the page, what does it say as a choice? What's the first thing on the page? When you open the app and click on commercial. What does it say?
17.
Oh, no, you have to open the app. What is that? Do you not have the app on your phone? Okay, Doris? Go to the App Store or the Play Store. Close all that. Go to the App Store or the Play Store. You know how to go to the App Store or the Play Store? Yes. Click on that and search for ICIWorld and install it. Okay? Let's go, people. I am wondering if you need some help.
Canada, Ontario.
64, he's got the right answer. Now, it took a little time here, but 64 is correct. You got 64? 65. I only got 3 people that got it so far. How about back there? Did you get 64 back there? How many hotels and motels are there in Ontario, buyers and sellers? 64. How many people? As soon as you get 64, put up your hand. Let's find out why there's a problem here. Doris, come right around and see why we're not getting it. Okay, see the first item there? Click on keywords. Now see if you can find, oh, part of the reason is you have to go through that Rolodex. And that's why you're having trouble. The iPhones are harder than the Android. Go through that little Rolodex until you find hotels or motels. Find hotels or motels. You have to scroll through it, right? Okay. You got it, Andy? Go through the App Store or Play Store. Okay, let me continue on here, okay? But you can see there's a little bit of work has to be done by some people in this room, and if you want, I will stay here until every single person can do it. I'll stay here after the seminar is over and help each and every one of you if you want, okay? Now, when you choose 64, go down and find a want. Somebody that wants a motel or a hotel. In fact, the first one wants it in British Columbia. Oh, I didn't put Ontario on mine, hang on, because I did an extra search. Okay, there you go. And there's another want here, wanted. Okay? Now, when somebody wants a hotel or motel, when you leave to pay your bill, could you ask to speak to the owner? Could you do that if you wanted to?
Yes.
Yeah. And chances are they might even be at the front desk.
Yeah.
And so you let them know. I happen to, you're a motel owner now. I enjoyed the stay, very good. By the way, I happen to be in real estate. If I could get you, I happen to have buyers and sellers of hotels and motels. You can see them on my website if you want. They will want to take your card away. If I could get you the price for your motel, would you consider selling? How much does that question cost? 0. If she says yes, you find out how much, 2.3 million. Then you can ask the 3 special questions, which I'm about to cover, and it's going to end our seminar today. Here we go. Let's move along. By the way, ICIWorld has 2 databases, a member database where you can advertise, post your information, the public can see it, they can call you. It's just like classified ads in a newspaper that only the brokers can place. You have to be a member to do that. It's free for everyone to access the app, to make a phone call the broker, and go show property. Everybody can do that without joining ICIWorld. It's a free app. Okay? There's no charge until you wish to advertise yourself. But the public can also place information free in database too. Do you want to see the information that the public placed? Let's see if you can do it within 3 seconds. I'm still trying to get you all down to 3 seconds, and at the moment, we're not doing it. Click on the app. Let's go again. Click on the app. Open it up so that you're at the main front page. Okay?
Yeah.
What's the fourth button say at the bottom?
For sale by owner.
For sale by owner. Click on it. A form comes up. Does everybody have the form?
Yeah.
Can you see how you can click on search database?
Yeah.
Click on it. These have all been placed by the public. However, you'll notice that nobody can click on them. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Who are the only people that can click on those for sale by owners?
Members.
The members. Okay, got it? Let's move on. 2 data streams, you do commercial and residential, includes condos, cottages, vacation property. We have a keyword for cottages, a keyword for waterfront. You can bring it all up in Ontario. There's a 40,000 monthly readership. The public calls you directly on your ads when you place them. And there's 20,000 subscribers who receive the haves and wants daily by email absolutely free, and you can subscribe to that to receive them free too. And there's approximately 1,500 other brokers that display all this information on their websites. There's over 18,000 pages on the internet that display listings. There's 2 million hits a month from people from 138 countries. We also do seminars at real estate boards. And we have one of the busiest booths at the at Realtor Quest each year. That's our busiest show of the year. And we're on the front page of all these publications, all designed to trigger leads for you. We're on the internet, of course, for many years. But today's session, one of the key things is how to work exclusive information that generates leads. It gives you extra opportunities to make money. There's an example of some of the things you can do, but you got to follow the RICO guidelines. And here's how it started. It was out of a book written by Bill Gates called At the Speed of Thought. If you can take a thought out of your head and put that thought on the internet, where there's 3.7 billion people, people can see that thought and give you a call. Before you get a listing, it's just a thought. I'm going to drive over to somebody's house today and I'm going to sign a listing on their property, get a listing and get it signed. That's a thought. He has a property coming for sale in Scarborough. That is a thought. It's not a listing, it's a thought. Bill Gates has helped our service present information in a compatible way with the real estate industry. He's an inspiration to me. I'd love to meet him someday. He spoke to Warren Buffett. I was in a meeting one time with Warren Buffett. It was put on by the CCI. But he said that the cost to publish your information, these thoughts, getting your message in front of someone, talking to people around the world. Back in 1992, this was amazing. We didn't know all this stuff. Is zero or so close to zero, it doesn't make any difference. And with our service, with all these corporate cards and the referral program, it's basically free to do worldwide advertising for the rest of your lives. It's an information listing service, and you can learn about it by listening to these webinars. It's opportunities to build your inventory. It's like fishing. If you don't put something on the internet for people to call you on, you've got nothing. You can work open listings, exclusive listings. Builders tell you, you can bring me in a buyer and I'll pay you a commission. We'll build him a home there any kind he wants. You can put that kind of information on here. And has anyone ever said, I'm going to ask every person in this room, has anyone ever said to you that I want to sell my property, but I do not want to give you a listing at this time? How many people has that happened to in this room? Okay, we've had some people it didn't happen to you yet. You never had that happen? It won't happen. Maybe you're just getting started. But you see all these other people, some people are going to say to you, I don't want to give you a listing, but I'll pay you a commission if you bring me in a buyer. Get excited. How are you going to handle that situation? One of the biggest situations that we meet almost every day, every week, or once a month or something. Well, here's how you handle it, people. Take your camera and take a picture of that. The reason I say use your camera, because chances are you're not going to be carrying the PowerPoint around. And if you're with the customer or you're talking to that restaurant owner or the motel owner and you forget what the questions are, you're going to have the questions in a picture on your phone. You should take a picture of that. Now, let's go through it. So I just finished asking you, you're the motel owner or restaurant. If I could get you the full price you wanted for your motel, would you consider selling? And you might say, yeah, but I don't want anybody to know about it, right? I don't want anybody to know about it. And so you ask them, how much would you want for your restaurant? You might say $350,000. How much would you want for your motel? I'd like $2.3 million. So then you ask them right then and there that first question. What's the first question? Yeah. Will you pay me a commission if I bring you in a buyer? Yeah. You get one yes. You're not asking for a listing on the spot. You're just saying, if I get a buyer, will you pay me a commission? Big difference. We have some people that did not make money on ICIWorld. They did not make money. And after 3 months, because remember I said I have a pledge for 3 months that every single one of you should make connections and make money. He was asking for a 48-hour exclusive listing. I says, what's the first question? He says, well, I was asking for a 48-hour exclusive listing. Is that the first question? No. Why? If I bring you a buyer. Big difference. That's why it's in red and black. Because we went 1 year where some people didn't make money and wondering why not. Because they weren't asking the questions properly. So I'm pointing this out to make extra sure that you learn there's 2 parts to each question. Let's go to the second question. Will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing once I have a buyer to cover my showing? Because I don't want to show any property unless I have an exclusive agreement in place to cover my listing. You have exclusive agreements available for all of them, Sabir? Okay, it's an exclusive listing agreement. You just say 48 hours. If I show a property during that 48 hours, you would agree to pay me a commission. And then you have a holdover clause. What's the holdover clause for the Toronto Real Estate Board? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just a simple listing agreement, but you don't put it on the Toronto Real Estate Board. It's just between you and the owner, between your office and the owner, and you're doing it on behalf of the office. And the third question is, you ask them for permission to advertise the property without the address. So what I'm going to say for your restaurant, I'm going to say restaurant, Markham area, $350,000 making money. That's it. Can you tell which restaurant that is?
No.
I'm going to advertise your motel. You own a motel and a restaurant.
Wow, you are lucky, yeah.
Okay? Hey, whatever you dream in this world, it can come to pass. Okay? You believe in what the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. Okay? You can do it. And I might say motel, but I might not say the city, because I might give it away. So I'm just going to say motel, 1 hour to Toronto, branded motel, 1 hour to Toronto, $2.3 million. Does that give it away? No. Okay. Why don't we put the address and why do we conceal the address?
We don't have written permission.
Here's the information. Well, you do have the information.
No, written permission. If we have that only, we can do it.
This is the reason why we don't put addresses on ICIWorld.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm happy to debate with anyone. I can have a room with 100 brokers in it, debating about putting addresses on the internet, even for MLS listings. MLS listings, they have an expiry date. Have you ever gone up to the end of your expiry date and you had trouble getting the relist? Could it be possible somebody talked to them and said, listen, after the listing is over, I'll come and I'll talk to you? So I'm suggesting that when you do your advertising, you do it in a way that triggers the lead during the term of the listing, identify the person who called, and then if you want to give them the address, go ahead. Do some of you agree or disagree? Okay. Now, in a busy, hot market, you just throw everything out there and make appointments for offers the next day. I know that. We've been through those times, but those times are a little bit past at the moment. So that's the reason, and you've got a lot of legal things to learn in this business. If you don't check hot water tank, rented or owned, you can get into trouble over one little thing like that. So this is another one of those requirements for you to learn. And if you learn this, you can work exclusive information in the business now for the first time. And every one of you can have 15 opportunities to do business instead of 0, 1, 2, or 3 listings on a real estate board. The great news for all of you is you can do both. You can do this, and if you get the signed listing, do it. A lot of our brokers will start advertising the exclusive listing. They'll show it once or twice. Maybe it doesn't sell, but bingo, when they want to put it on the MLS, who gave them the most action? It could be you. And then they do list it with you. So that's what can happen here. Now, how do you handle the phone call when it comes in? What do you say? Because the first thing they're going to ask you for, what's the address? What are you going to say? This is what you say when someone calls you. In this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, once I get the listing signed, I will call you back and I will make arrangements for you to see it. I should be getting the listing in about next week, next month, 2 months, whenever it is. And then I will put your name on a list, and when I get the listing signed, you can be one of the first people through the first open house. How does that sound? Any questions on this right now? This is a real estate concept, mixing it with computers, the information business, and to be compatible with our real estate professional industry. This is the way we've been doing it for over 25 years. This is the way we've been doing it before computers, since the beginning of time. All the commercial brokers have lots of exclusive information. They know about shopping centers, businesses, land, all kinds of things that are not on the Toronto Real Estate Board. Let me ask, how many people in this room have been in the business more than 3 years? 3 years. Okay, I'm going to ask you, how many people less than 3 years? Okay. How many people less than 1 year? Okay. I'm going to ask you a question, everyone in the room, and you can agree or disagree. 90% of shopping centers are not on real estate boards. Agree? How many people agree? How many people disagree? How many people don't know? You'll notice they all agree. 90% of apartment buildings are not on real estate boards. Agree or disagree? Agree. Disagree? None? Don't know? Okay. You'll see. Agree. In fact, we have over 100 shopping centers. They're not on real estate boards. Same thing for apartment buildings. It's all on here. So this is giving you an opportunity to learn about what's going on in the marketplace. But when you see the listing, are you going to see the address? No, you're not going to see the address. Scarborough, coming for sale. Somebody calls you up. What are you going to say to them? There it is. In this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I'll put you on a list. When I get the agreement signed, I'll call you back. And if you're still looking, you can be one of the first people through the property. I actually got that mixed up with this other one. This is somebody that wants to see your motel, or let's say restaurant. I'm going to tell them when they call, in this particular case, I have to put an agreement in place first, but you come to my office first, and I will make arrangements for you to see this restaurant. And what do you do the day before you show the restaurant?
48 hours.
Get yourself a 48-hour exclusive listing to go show that restaurant. If somebody calls you on a condo that's for sale, and they say, I'd like to drive by first. Oh, you can tell them about the building, maybe. I don't even know about that. But nevertheless, you tell them, listen, you come to my office, I'll make arrangements for you to see this condo. Saturday at 12 noon. And then on Friday, what do? You go get yourself a 48-hour exclusive agreement to cover your showing to show that condo. That's actually very simple when you think about it. But to do it once and make a $20,000 check, you're going to want to do it all the time. You're going to start doing it more and more and more. And I love hearing for the first time people doing it. So if you can remember this conversation in front of the class, if you do this, make sure you call me. I'd like to be the first one to congratulate you when you do one of these deals. Everyone can do them. Okay, let's finish off here. Going to give you a test. Mississauga restaurant, $350,000 making money. Does that give it away?
No.
Can you tell? No, the answer is no. If I said it's at the corner of Huron, Ontario, by the way, there's 3 answers. Yes, no, or I don't know. If I said it was a Mississauga restaurant at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street, does it give it away? How many people say yes?
Yes.
How many people say no? How many people don't know? The rest don't know? The ones that said yes, why does it give it away?
Because it's just on the corner.
It's on the corner, but what happens if there's 3 restaurants there?
Yeah, he might go to the 3 restaurant and find out.
How long does it take to go talk to 3 restaurant owners?
Yeah,
How long?
yeah, a few minutes, yeah.
Less than a half an hour. You know why that's important? Businesses are 10%. That can be $35,000. So if you give, just because of your tongue, gives too much information, you just gave it away and they can go behind your back and go direct. Let's go to the next one. Toronto triplex, $750,000. Does it give it away?
No.
No. If I said it's at the corner of Ossington and Bloor next to the Pizza,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
it gives it away. Now it's going to get a little harder. Watch this one. Lindsay, SO gas station. Does it give it away? How many people say yes? How many? I got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
How many people
Yeah,
say
but
no?
every US gas stations, yeah.
How many people do not know? Okay, good. The ones that said yes have it. Why? There's only 1 gas station in Esso in Lindsay.
Yeah.
Okay? People, this is our confidential information in the real estate business. Lawyers have confidential information. Doctors have confidential information. This is our confidential information. When you know about something, you better not tell them exactly where it is. They'll go behind your back. If I said I had a gas station on number 7 highway between the 404 and Yonge Street, could they drive down number 7 and figure out which one it is? We had people do it.
Yeah.
I got a report, they did it. They will track it down. If they take one afternoon and try to go find a property, maybe within 1 or 2 hours, they can find it and save $36,000. $36,000, $35,000. That can help put your kids through school, help buy a car, pay off mortgages. That's a lot of money. So when you have exclusive information, you have to treat it like money in the bank, and you got to protect that information. We had one developer. He took the salesperson out for lunch and spent $200. Bottle of wine, beautiful meal. And by the end of the meal, he says, you can tell me where that piece of land is. That's all right. And he blurted it out and he told him. The developer bought it direct months later. What he thinks the developer is, for $200, I saved $100,000 commission. Okay? Brantford, $30 million shopping center. Does it give it away? How many say yes?
Yes.
How many people say no? How many people don't know still? Okay? And the reason why?
Yeah, because in Brantford, like a big,
There's only
30
one
million
that's
is
that
a
big in
shopping
that town.
center, yeah.
Okay? So I'm teaching you how to work information here. Do you like this so far?
Yes.
Okay, this is a big moneymaker for all of you the rest of your lives. You're gonna bump into a situation out there someday where you have a chance to do this. If you're not sure how to put the information on the service, who can you call? You bet. Okay, we're just about finished here. We're gonna wrap up. Thank you for being so patient with me while I go through this. The real estate widgets that you can add on your website, watch this, people. This is incredible what I'm about to show you. This is a no-brainer. This is a reason why every single person should be getting this stuff. Watch this. You can mark this down, 50.iciworld.com if you want. If you want it, I'll repeat it. I'm going to show you one of the first websites here. I'll just pick any website. It doesn't matter which company. It doesn't really matter. But there's a sample website. Everyone can have a website like this. They're $34.95. This one, there's other ones for $16. Everybody can search residential, but not everyone can search exclusive. Look at that. That is an exclusive button that every single one of you can have today. Order it today and get it installed. We send you an email instruction. You'll forward it to your website designer. That's why I was asking Sabir on those where to live websites. I'll ask him in a moment. Do you know how to log into your own website, your own page?
Yeah.
Okay, so it can be done. Who's the gentleman that was sharp on
Omar,
computers here?
Omar.
Where's Omar?
Omar, yeah.
Where is he? Is he here?
Middle office.
Omar? Is he in here?
No.
Okay. Yeah, if you can bring him over here, I want to ask him a question. Somebody comes down here, they click on exclusive, they click on residential. Up comes the same page that you got on your mobile phone. You can have this on your website. Isn't that wonderful? Now, when I choose, let's say Markham, okay, when I choose Markham and I click on search database, up comes the listings. And if somebody is interested in this listing, stay here for 1 second. I got a question. Where to live? They all have the page from Century 21. And what I'm showing you is, you see this button here called exclusives?
Yeah.
We supply this for all brokers in the world.
Right.
And these links can be put on that page. They can log into their page and put links on it. Right? Yes or no?
Right, of course.
There you go. So you can have it. You may not know how to do it yet, but we can get it done. With a little bit of assistance, if you show me how to do it, I'll show them how to do it. Okay? That was my question.
It won't be the contact details properly.
I'm glad you asked that question. Great question. Here's the big deal. Are you ready? I'm going to pretend that this is your website. This is your website, okay? Somebody comes here, they click on exclusive, and they click on residential, and they click on Markham, and they see this house here, and they want to click on that number, and they cannot do it. If this is your website, and they can't click on that number, who do they have to call?
Then call you to
Give me a high five. Heart. Isn't that fantastic? Huh? If this, okay, I'm gonna ask you now. If this is your website and they can't click on it, who do they have to contact? You? Give me a high five. Isn't that wonderful? People, if you are part-time, can you do this? If you are retired, can you do this? Yeah. And it's good for the full-time people because you're triggering leads for them. This information is actually right now on 1,500 other brokers' websites. And I think every broker in the industry can have this on your website. How much does it cost? By the way, when we divided 18 months into 240, what did we get?
13 something.
How much? $14. A day?
No,
Oh, a month. A month. $14 a month.
That's
to
a
have-
lot for real estate agent.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you gotta make some money. I got you.
You shouldn't be in this room.
It can be. This business, it can be feast or
You
famine.
know, that's
I
the
had
way
one
they-
broker, he made a check for $220,000. I was actually the president of the CCI chapter. We rented a boat at Symphony of Fire. Does anybody remember Symphony of Fire? That's when we had the fireworks down at the waterfront.
Oh, yeah.
And then they would play the music to all the different countries of the world. While the fireworks are going off and the music was timed to go off with the explosions in the music. We rented a boat. The boat to rent it is like maybe $500 a night, but on that one night, it was $25,000. Anyways, when he was on ICI World, he had 2 apartment buildings coming for sale, just like I'm talking to you about today. It was down in southwestern Ontario. He got the buyer, he ended up selling it, he made $220,000. It was right at the time. Well, to get this boat and get all the CCIMs worldwide, because I was the international chairman at the time as well, we had to put $25,000 down. Well, we can't get the chapter to pay out a check for 25 grand and take a chance, and nobody else is. If I asked you, would you do it? Nobody wanted to do it. He was so high from collecting that check for 220 grand. I says, come on, you gotta do it, man. We'll get you the money back. You know that. He did it. And we got the boat. We were out on the water, the fireworks going off, eating hors d'oeuvres, music going off. It was wonderful. All because it started from coming for sale to apartment buildings. So there's a lot of successes in this business. Now, it's like fishing. You don't put your line in the water, you have no chance to put food on the table, okay? So that's what this listing can do. Now watch this. I'm going to do something else. Residential people, you have a website. Somebody comes to your website. Is it possible that they might want to invest in an apartment building? You're on the internet. They might be interested in apartment buildings. They could be interested in shopping centers or businesses, anything. There's apartment buildings on your website. Somebody clicks on your website and up comes 268 apartment buildings on your website. You tell me if that isn't fantastic. We never had this. For somebody new getting started, you're the luckiest guy in this whole room. You may be one of the youngest. I'll tell you, you got a great career. You know why? You have a chance to make this work from day one. When I came into business, what they did is they got a telephone book. He dropped it on the table. He got the rotary dial phone and put it on top, and then he patted me on the back and said, "Welcome to real estate." And he walked away. That was it. That was our did you know they gave a rotary dial phone to some millennials? Are you a millennial?
Yes.
Yeah. They give it to millennial, and they couldn't make a phone call. It took them 7 minutes to figure it out. Oh, they sit around, they were analyzing and doing everything. They couldn't make a phone call with a rotary dial phone. Anyway, I found that kind of cute and funny. But they figured it out eventually because they're
Just
sharp.
5 minutes, they would have looked up.
Yeah. Oh, they weren't allowed to use any resources. Anyways, so here is apartment buildings on your website. I'm going to ask you all another question. Somebody here is interested in, let's say, this one at Dufferin and Bloor. It's a residential mixed building for $1.95 million. They're going to try to click on it. They're going to call you up on the phone, and they're going to say, you know, I'm on your website. I'm interested in message number 378543. Can you help me? What are you going to say? Who's shaking their head? Sure, I can help you. Yes. What's the next words you might say?
In this particular case, I have to have an agreement in place.
Not exactly.
No.
Someone contact you first.
I will have someone call you back.
Okay.
That's it. You get their name and number. Then who are you going to call? If you need to call me, you can. Who are you gonna call?
The seller.
Like,
This
who placed this ad?
Yeah.
Listing.
The listing agent. You're gonna call them. And what are you gonna say?
Did you pay
Yeah,
commission?
Referral, would you pay 25%?
Will you pay me a 20, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? Is that okay, Sabir, if they ask that? Absolutely. You ask for a 25% referral commission. Anybody have a problem with that? No, we do it every day. The only reason you don't do it is because you don't have these listings to trigger a lead. But as soon as you get it, day one, you've got it.
So those are exclusively listed, right?
Over here, we have 30,000 listings. 75% of the commercial ones are exclusive. 50% of the residential ones are exclusive. So that one could be an MLS or exclusive. We don't know until you call them. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you look at FISBO,
Okay, the FISBOs?
right, I understand that the other agent who has the interest in putting the ad in the system.
That's in database number 1. But we have another database number 2, and I'll bring that up right now. Watch this. You'll notice that under exclusive, there's also FISBOs here. I usually don't get it in the essence of time, and I'll show it quickly because we got to end this off.
The only question that I
You
have,
see the Canada FISBOs? I'm going to click on that. You're going to have FISBOs on your website here. And if somebody is interested in one of these FISBOs, they can click on it. I'm going to click on Markham, and look at that. These have been placed by the public. They
so
can
the
call you.
owner is probably the one.
This is the owner who texted it. This is the owner who put that in.
So not all FISBOs are going to be okay. There might be lots of FISBOs out there that are not on the system.
Oh, yeah, and that's for you to get their information and put it on. You're in Kijiji, you make a phone call. Kijiji's the best. It's fantastic for this stuff. Kijiji, the name, address, phone number, details of the property are there. Let's finish this up. Everybody, there's a form that you gotta have. It's called evaluation form. Does everybody have it? It's called an evaluation form. One of these. Can you see if you have it?
Yes.
There should be copies for, there should be enough copies for everybody. It's called evaluation form. It's called the evaluation form. If you can get it out.
I think
And
I
if you
gave
don't
those-
mind
I think
taking
I
just-
gave those forms to everybody.
Okay, so can you please fill
You
in the
have it,
evaluation form?
yeah,
Take
they
1
all
minute.
have it. They all have it.
Use mine.
Take 1 minute to fill it in right now, the evaluation form, please, in consideration of me coming and speaking to you and sharing all this information with you. Please just fill that in, take 1 minute. We appreciate it. It helps make our seminars more productive every time that we do this. I really appreciate your feedback by filling in those evaluation forms. I'm sorry? Okay. I will stay here as long as you want. Anyone that's interested in, hang on 1 second here. Anyone that's interested in joining, you can go to the nreils.com. You click on Join Today, and then you click on Canada to get started with us if you wish. You can have more than one website because they're like billboards. How to promote your website is included in your membership. We're going to be helping you with that. Make sure you know our pledge. No one should go longer than 90 days without triggering leads to do deals, basically. How to promote your website is included. You can have more than, oops, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, geez. I just went back to the bottom. Let's go back here. Oh, and I pressed the wrong button. Page up. What do you do now? Okay, there we go. There we go.
What's the difference between the $16 and $34 website?
Maybe if it interests the whole audience, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll show you one-on-one. I can show you more one-on-one
Okay.
because it takes a little bit of time to show it.
I'll put it.
thank you very much for having me come in and do all of this. I appreciate the opportunity to work with everyone.
Well, let's do the appointment, Gary. Thank you again.
Okay,
We really appreciate the information.
thank you for having me.
Let's go around the bubble. We'll go a lot of information on here. Certainly work on, especially like Gary mentioned. You want to get yourself out, known out there. It's not just a website; it's a number of websites. And the more people know you, the better your opportunity will be out there. So this is one of the key things that you need to be well known out there. So really appreciate it, and especially with this. I spoke to a number of folks also. They've been asking about commercial, especially motels, gas stations. You can't find that on the internet. So this is a great way of getting out there and see how you can make that recognition. Really awesome.
Thanks for having me come in, and thanks for what you did with my sister.
So Gary has met
That was
Samir
really,
before?
appreciate that.
So Gary's met Samir before?
I'm sorry?
Absolutely, Gary. Gary, you must have met Samir.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
You must have met
The broker.
the other broker of record.
Oh, okay, very good.
He's actually the broker. That way I can step out. Folks, I just want to touch something else on here. Last week we talked about, so a question for you, Gary.
Yes.
We have a pre-construction project.
You can absolutely put it on here.
There you go. So folks, this is another great opportunity. I mean, if you get a pre-construction project, we did talk about last Wednesday, Symphony Townhouses in Oshawa. So the good news is the APS is ready to sign now. I just got a phone call from Tony who was here last week. So if you have any worksheets,
We didn't get the digital copy you said.
it was in the thing, in our Facebook account, or if you email it, I
Oh,
can
that
show it
is
to you.
not like Facebook, how many people?
Everybody, we have our Facebook account on that,
That's what
right?
you send me.
Okay, we'll get that here. So there's that in there. The APS is ready. Worksheets are there. So if you want to submit your worksheets, you can submit it now and ready to sign the APS effective Saturday if you want. They're all available. The carry-on warranty is ready. Paperwork's are ready. Allocations will be provided within the day. So that's Symphony. 58 townhouses available to us to sell right now till whenever we sell by September 20th. Just
Okay, put them, we can put them all right here. Does anybody need-
reconstruction?
anybody need an evaluation sheet?
Discuss on that.
Who didn't get a valuation sheet? You get one? Everyone got an evaluation sheet? Everybody got it? Evaluation sheet. You can just put it right here when you're finished in the middle. You'll see the pre-construction. You'll see the pre-construction up there?
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. New construction. Okay, so you can launch, you can certainly put this in there. And then people will contact you for that at the same time. Any new construction project, pre-construction, and so on and so forth. Awesome, okay. Great.
And you can search all of this on your phone. If anybody's not comfortable, I'm gonna stay here today until you are comfortable, and it shouldn't take long. I'll show you how to do it one-on-one.
Perfect.
Sorry, on my, I cannot take before sale by your eyes.
Okay, can you make an appointment for people to go?
So, no, because I just want to tell them a little bit.
Not able to go?
Look, there's for sale by your eyes.
I know, there's a special way to get into it, and you'll do that in your appointment,
Okay.
okay? You know how to make the appointment from the app?
Yes, yes. I'll do it.
So whoever is interested in joining, if you want to come here, the other way you can join if you want, you can staple your business card and a credit card to this application form, and then just make an appointment before you leave, and I'll give you your corporate card discount card. You can get your corporate card right away. Okay, very good. Yeah. Have you got your application? Have you already filled it in? Okay, do you have your credit card?
I want to look at it a bit more. What is that part of the discount for the membership?
It gives you discounts on 250 vendors in the greater Toronto area.
Okay.
You know, if everything all kinds of yeah. We just go by the deals. Are you doing deals? And if you're not doing a deal or triggering the news every 90 days, that's what counts. We had Google say that, somebody's getting a million hits and they didn't do any deals. I don't go by that. Pardon? Yeah, did you read the testimonials? Oh, well, what you do is you make an appointment, I'll give you a one-on-one presentation, no obligation. You're gonna have a lot of questions. You got the app on your phone? Okay, free on your phone, so you just start to use the app. Okay, man.
Okay, I will join on this side.
Actually, maybe you gotta make an appointment now. Where's your phone? Get your phones out. Open the app. Okay. Click on one, click on login. Click on make an appointment. It'll take you all to your okay, get your phone out. You gotta make your appointment before you leave. Now, I can't give you this until I see the receipt. If you want the receipt, if you want to put it down. Oh, yeah. Why don't you just get online and everything's gonna get.
I can get
Oh, one-on-one,
Yes,
this,
you
so,
can.
when you're booking an appointment, it's just like you're sitting with him and he's walking with you.
Oh, it's over the internet.
Yeah.
the desktop.
I'll show you.
He'll do it, everything, he'll get access to your computer and he'll be there. Yeah, he will book an appointment with him online, all the availabilities are there, right? And then 10 minutes before that, you log on your computer on ICI, that's it. And call him at that time when your appointment is there, right? If it is 6 o'clock, right at 6 o'clock, call him. But 10 minutes before that, be ready with your IC. Sure.
Yeah, one day.
Sure.
And you can do that right now on your phone, or you can pull up the app. Let me show you something first. Click on more, click on login. Click on make an appointment. Click on 60 minutes. Click on 60 minutes. There you go. And find a blue day. A blue day are available for appointments. And you see the times of the day. Now, the nice thing about it is, if you need to cancel at the last minute, you can change it right from the make an appointment, I'll give you what you call a demo.
So we can still like sign up without making a plan.
I recommend if you book an appointment, so I make sure that you can sign up. And what you need is this orientation file. Anybody that's joining should take one of these orientation files. This is what you do that. Okay, this is the orientation file to sign up.
So we'll get that 18 months.
You'll get the 18 months, yes. Make your appointment now, you get the 18 months. 18 weeks.
That was a broker, destination.
Yes, but make your appointment now. Okay, click on, open the app, I'll show you how to do it.
No, we don't need to get like the website. No, like the own website, put our code there, and that is correct.
You made your appointment. You need your appointment. Okay, you got it? Okay, good man. Okay, you made your appointment? Okay, where's your? And then click on more down at the bottom. It'll come up. Click on login. Log in. Click on make an appointment. The first one. Click on 60 minutes. Yep. Okay. And now what I'm going to do. That's me. No, you just click on 60 minutes. Oh, I see, okay. And pick a day that's got a blue color. Yep, pick a day that's got here. All the people that are joining, they need one of these, Doris, the orientation. Oh, you sit in front of your computer, 10 minutes before over the internet. Okay? And for people that are working online, you can see it here. And I think I've got to end the recording here in a moment.
So I need to enter the detail, huh?
Let me just end this recording now by going back to our main page and leaving the contact information there. Not, sometimes I forget to shut this off. And it goes on and on and on. But it's a valuable session. And there we go. I'm going to click on contact me.
Do you need any help
All the
signing up?
information comes up, and there's all the information.
I'm not gonna sign up. Maybe I'll just pick it up.
That completes the session for this particular seminar, and we're on to another one, the Oakville Real Estate Board coming up.
Yeah, sure. So if I fill out one of these, I